Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So keep in mind, I've been told, especially today, that they're provoking me in a racial way because I won't do things the white man's way, the Jewish way, and the LGBT way, right? The governing class, way of kind of governing behind the scenes, what have you. I won't play the game. I live the truth instead of playing the game. And they said, that they're going to call me racial names still, and they're going to provoke me every day, what have you, in a way that allows them to have plausible deniability, at least outside of their kind of circle, what have you. And again, the idea is to piss me off, so I get mad and start yelling at times and things like this. And again, I have no problem with yelling, right? That's not a concern of mine. I live in a remote area. Right now I'm on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. If I started yelling even obscenities and racial slurs, right, for example, so what? If someone hurt me, so what? That's not a big deal. But it is a big deal that you're trying to force me into your cultures. And you're trying to stigmatize me as a racist when you are clearly narcissistic, malicious people who are very covetous, very petty, very trifling, very unfair. And you're trying to kind of make it seem like I'm the bad guy or something when clearly I'm in the right. And then you suppress my videos. So it needs to be understood that they have made it clear to me, to a large degree, why they're doing this. Okay? And it also has to do with sexual sadism, right? They want to torture me regardless of what I do to some degree. That's kind of what gangstalking is. A lot of people, from what I gather, try to kiss their ass and it doesn't help. And that's not who I am anyway. I wouldn't do that anyway. So that needs to be understood here. So when I put this in that playlist, it complements the other videos, and you should understand why I'm in the right now. Okay, so what the solution could have been was for the government to set aside maybe $500 billion plus, and it's something they could do with wealth taxes and otherwise over time, for there to be minority-run businesses that hire minorities and help build wealth for minorities. And the idea would be successful if it was run by people who aren't Freemasons and people like that. So that's part of the problem, is that there's a bunch of token minorities who share cultural values with white people, and they try to elevate their families. I'm my crypto Jews, crypto white, crypto LGBT. Now, keep in mind, for those of you who fit that description, it's not going to stop you from wasting your lives and leading your families to hell and so on and so forth with the racist white Jew and LGBT oppressors and the masses and masses of their allies. That's not going to stop us. So don't be mad at me. This is the truth that needs to be said. Okay, that would have been the solution here. There will be no worthwhile solution. It's even right there in the word. Right? There's 2 words that you should write down. One is mention, or 3 words. Mention, solution, and dictate. Mention, men, shun. Solution, the soul you shun. The son, the soul, me, the one king, the one, the soul one. And one is the alpha of all humanity. With the universal scale, not the white man's concrete jungle scale. And then dictate. It's like you get dick shun, right? They have a problem with communication, right? The shun and the communication. The diction, right? The dick shun. And also the dictate. A bunch of monsters want to control things with their phallic symbols and so on and so forth. They want to tell people what to do and please their dicks, be it gays, pedophiles, womanizers, and it's sick. You can tell for sure by my videos, especially in the last 5 years or so, that if I was in charge, people would be treated extremely fairly, more fairly than anyone in human history. They'd be treated with justice and righteousness. I would apply universal pinpointed moral precision. Period. And no one else can say that because their track record is conformity. My track record is moral precision, and telling the truth, their track record is conformity. And where I made minor mistakes, maybe, the 10 years before the 5 years, they were very, very minor mistakes. Very minor. They did not matter. Made mistakes in my stories. I made a new playlist where I tell the truth to a T about my stories to correct any slight discrepancies I made, to try to cover this up or that or whatever I was trying to do at the time. You mind this, it's over 15 years I've been making videos. Covertly drugged, fumed, poisoned, directly drugged, you name it. Taken to the psych ward unfairly. And now, a lot of mental health professionals admit that I'm right now. Okay? So I've been vindicated a million times over. A lot of psychiatrists, would have their heads down, co-signing with the state because they know my case proves definitively the dangers of just believing the psychiatrist or following the state, and I was right to not do those things. So when we look at the sum total picture, yes, I'm victorious in so many ways. Reminds me of a part in Shaka Zulu, where I remix it and I say, even if the scum had 1,000 lives each, those lives wouldn't be worth a single moment in my life. Because I assure you, I promise you, if you're a rich person or some arrogant person or some racial supremacist, I want you to listen very carefully. I promise you that I am superior.